Hello, people of the universe. Um, it's a bit different this year. I've been traveling out of town for work, so I didn't have access to my resources to start filming horror or streaming horror. So Octo Horror was kind of a bit different. I did, however, still want to maybe talk about something like some franchises that I like. Some that have stuck with me through the years, or. So, the first one for this video series, maybe, um, that I want to talk about is, of course, Resident Evil. Resident Evil, the first horror game I ever played, was Resident Evil 2. I had a PS1, and it came with 2 discs, one for Leon and 2 for Claire. Or was it 1 for Claire, 2 for Leon? No, it was 1 for Claire and 2 for Leon. I think. I want to look it up, but I'm not going to. That game, I still have the discs. They don't work. I didn't take care of my PlayStation 1 discs very well. But that game was... Well, first, let me put this way, though. I was 5 years old when I played it, so I didn't understand a lot, but I knew the opening very well. The whole blowing up the truck, and you have to run through the gun shop. The guy tries to kill you with a shotgun or a crossbow, depending on who you're playing as. You could enter the mode to, or you can enter like if you use the select button, you could enter a cheat for like easy mode, and you would get like infinite ammo guns. It's not like you didn't buy them with bonus points. No, it was just like literally just like if I press a certain amount of buttons in the correct order, boom, I have infinite minigun. Or no, it was an infinite submachine gun. I think it took up 2 slots. I think it was a submachine gun and it took up 2. And there was no like any more slots. You had 8 slots, and that was it for both. Unlike Resident Evil 1, which I'll get to in a bit. But that game, it scared the ever-living shit out of me at 5. Like, it wasn't like... It's not like jump scares and, like, just coming out of nowhere. And no, it was... I think the whole idea of a zombie scenario to a 5-year-old me did not bode well, did not sit well with me. I had nightmares, which, understandable, but those experiences, playing that game has shaped me. I don't have nightmares anymore as much as emotional nightmares, or stuck in work nightmares when I'm trying to go to sleep. That's it's a whole stress issue on that point. But I don't really I love horror games. I love horror movies. Like, horror things are like, they're just fantastical. I don't know why I did it that way, but Resident Evil 2, I never beat it when I was by myself, but I think eventually I did play it with a friend of mine, Dylan, and I think we beat it. I can't remember for certain, but I think we beat it. The graphics were just polygons are awesome. Okay, the next Resident Evil game that I played, I'm going to admit to some things. As much as I am a fan of Resident Evil, I did not play them all. I skipped, there was one for the Wii U that was, strictly mercenaries. No. I didn't play the one on the Game Boy. I think it's called Resident Evil Gaiden. I barely learned about that, a year ago or so. 2 years ago? Something like that. The rail shooters. I just barely started playing those because they're available on the PlayStation Plus catalog. it used to be PlayStation Now, and that's where I was playing it, but now it's the PlayStation Plus catalog, and they have two. I think there's only. I don't know how many rail shooters that they have, but there's two of them on there: Umbrella Chronicles and I think it's Raccoon City, something like that. But anyways, the next game I played was Resident Evil 3 demo. That's another one I didn't play, and I very sad that I didn't. I played the demo of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis for the PlayStation 1. It was great, and then you get to this like bus, and there's this like light jewel puzzle which I don't think actually made it into the game, and you can't solve it. And it was like, there's the end of the demo, and you're like, son of a bitch. I don't know if it actually made into the actual game. A friend of mine had it. He never really played it, and I never got a chance to play it. I even played the demo for the remake of the Resident Evil 3. Still haven't played Resident Evil 3. I want to play the original for the PlayStation 1 very so bad. So I'm gotta look for that somehow, maybe like an emulator. But after that, there was a long pause, and I think that's when Resident Evil 4 came out. I played. I think the rail shooters were coming out around this time too, but I played Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube so many times. My GameCube card. I have my GameCube card, but I don't have my GameCube. I think my GameCube might work. I don't remember, but on the memory card, if I put it in, and I can look at it, I think it'll tell me I've beaten the game. Like it usually says like round 1 when you're playing the game, round 2 when you go new game plus, new game 3. I think it's in the 70s, high 70s. I want to say 78, round 78. And the only reason I did stop playing it really was because of another franchise like Dead Space or other things I got interested in. What I didn't realize at the time was what hyperfocusing is for ADHD. I think that's what I was doing, was hyperfocusing. PS3 came around, and then the Resident Evil 5 came out. As much as you shit on it and stuff, it's not up to their usual standards, I admit. But when you play that game with a friend over and over and over and over again, it's so much fun. I played it with Dylan. You know what? I don't even remember. And then I got it again on the PS4, played it 3 more times with him. And the DLC that they had for it was actually kind of pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But I think they took a big hit, and then they put a lot on Resident Evil 6, which I also played. Honestly, kind of liked it. A lot of people don't like it. I get the Chris and Pierre. Chris and Pierre. I couldn't remember his name. The ending was really cool for them, but that was more reminiscent of Resident Evil 5. And the Leon and it's not Helena. Helena? No. Yeah, it is Helena. Leon and Helena. It was more more like Resident Evil 2-ish. Mixed with Resident Evil 4 as it got later into his story. And then it was Sherry and Jake. Now, Sherry was a reoccurring character. I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. They brought her back. And, some other things. But, theirs was, a whole, weird hybrid of, playing Resident Evil 4 and 5. It was kind of cool being Jake Mueller. And, each character had their own things and whatnot. But it was still a fun experience when you played it with somebody. I still firmly believe that. Honestly, I want to go play it again. But I have to have somebody play it with me. So we're working on that. I don't remember when I played Revelations don't think I finished one. I don't think I had a friend that had Revelations 1, but I never actually beat it. I never really got around to it. Oh, some of my favorite games I want the remakes of, because I never beat it, and I only got to play a little bit of it because I didn't own it, was the Resident Evil. Oh, Survivor Files. Hold on. It's Resident Evil. Oh, Survivor. Survivor. No, I've never heard of this. Well, cool. That's another one I didn't know about. It's a first-person shooter. Code Veronica X. That was a good one. Dead Aim. Never heard of it. Is it this one? Outbreak. Yeah. Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File 2. I wanted to play those so bad. So bad. Maybe I should just bring up a list of Resident Evil games. Resident Evil games list. Here we go. In order. Boom. Resident Evil. 1996. I played the original way later. It wasn't the first one I played, obviously. I told you about Resident Evil 2. I never... Ooh, and release order. Is this release order? Okay, I think this is release order. Yeah, okay, this is... Oh, yeah, by initial release date. Cool. Okay, yeah, so Resident Evil, I played a lot later, but I did get to it, and it was fantastic. I loved it. Resident Evil 2, of course, told you about that. Told you about 3. And then they had Resident Evil Survivor for the PlayStation 1. Never heard of it. I'm not going to lie. Code Veronica X was fantastic. I think I've played that more than 3 times. Not as much as Resident Evil 4. But honestly, I loved it. I love Claire. Claire's my main girl in that story, alright? I will play her every time. Resident Evil Survivor 2. Code Veronica. Interesting. So they kind of... It was okay, so it was like a... Oh, okay, because Survivor... Okay, so they were rail shooters then. So Survivor, I'm guessing, recaps 1, 2, and 3. Survivor 2 recaps Code Veronica X. And 3, it looks like. Then there was Resident Evil Gaiden, which had Leon working. Barry made an appearance, and he was working with Krauser, I believe, which was a total I heard about it. I was like, what the hell? And then they have Resident Evil Remake. No, it was just Resident Evil with updated graphics, I believe. That was pretty cool. Resident Evil 0. Was that the remake? Hold on. I want to say that is the remake. Yeah, okay, yes, that was the Resident Evil remake. They made some changes and made it look better, and it honestly it paid off well. It was fantastic. I think I'm still playing it every once in a while. Resident Evil 0 was an interesting thing. It's supposed to take place before 1, but it came out so much later. I think it could have been 2-player, and that would have been cool, because you play as Rebecca and Billy Cohen. You can switch between them, and they have their own inventory and stuff. It was interesting. I beat that and unlocked the battle mode and tried playing some. Well, my phone rudely interrupted me by saying I didn't have enough space to continue the video. So I had to go back and look at what I was doing after I finally created enough space. I was talking about Resident Evil 0. And I got to the battle mode, and I think I played it twice. And I was like, I'm done. But it's really cool. It's a really good story, too. It kind of explains what happened to Rebecca and why she got there so late. I feel like she did. So after that, there's Resident Evil Dead Aim, which I may have heard about once. I think it's another rail shooter. I didn't play that one. As much as a fan as I am, I don't think I'll ever get to all the games, which kind of makes me sad. But I at least want to get to at least like the main games and Outbreaks. The moving on, Resident Evil: The Missions 3D. Never heard of that one. Resident Evil Outbreak, the one I really want to play. I think I played a little bit of it, but I saw my friends play it mostly. Resident Evil Outbreak, and then Outbreak File 2 the next year was fantastic. I want to play them so bad. So bad. Like, if we get remakes of them, so be it. But if there's more, the PlayStation 2 versions of those, like, I have my PS2. Please. Composure. Okay. They have Resident Evil 4 next, which I had talked about already. What is this one? Resident Evil Deadly Silence. Never heard of that at all. I don't even know if that is a rail shooter or something. Then they had Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles, which I am in the middle of playing, actually. I'm not much of a fan of, like, rail shooters, but, like, why not? You know? Why not? Because like they basically like recap things, or they'll add they have like a recap story and like a new story. But like they make you play the recap so much. I swear I'm done with the recap, but it's like, oh, there's more, and I'm like, I don't even. Why did you add more? I've been through here plenty of times. After that was Resident Evil 5, which I already went into detail about. Resident Evil: The Dark Side Chronicles is the other one I'm working on, the other rail shooter. Same thing. They give you like one story that's like the new story, and then like they make you play the whole recap of a story. And I think this one's gonna have a third recap thing, and I'm like, oh my god. They're going to make me suffer through that before I can actually get through the other stuff. I think I'm actually stuck on Umbrella. No, I'm stuck on Dark Side. Umbrella Chronicles, I just started working on Dark Side. I don't know why. I just started working on Dark Side instead. I think it's because I'm stuck. I'm stubborn. Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D was on the 3DS. Didn't... It was like Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries, basically. I'm okay with that. No. Resident Evil Revelations. I played a few chapters of it. I never finished it. I think I talked about that. The next one. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. It was a disaster. But it's not the worst they have. However, the few things I can get is... It's kind of cool to play as the bad guys a little bit, like Umbrella Dogs. And they give you a few, like, what ifs. It's basically a what if scenario. Like, if these guys were here and they chose to do this or they chose to do that, like, what could have happened? And it's really cool. And they try to put in a lot of, fan service with, like, Leon, Claire, just, Jill. And it's different. I'll tell you that much. It's different. I guess you could play online with up to 3 other people, but good luck with that. I would say you need friends, but I didn't really get the chance to play with friends on this one. Maybe it's fun with friends. I don't know. Resident Evil 6 is next. Talk about that. Revelations 2. I played this extensively. I've played this multiple times over. I'm trying to platinum it. There's a raid mode I'm working on. You don't have to, but I would say you should play with a partner. They give like one. It was like I think they did it in the first one as well. One person's like the gunman and like taking care of the enemies. The other person's like a support. It has an interesting dynamic until you move to the raid mode. Then it's like, oh, okay, now we're both shooty, which is fine. Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. I didn't play that. I didn't know it was actually a thing that's out. Oh, it's on the Resident Evil 4. Okay, cool. Umbrella Corps. This This is the one I was gonna say is their worst. They were gonna try to make it an esport. Resident Evil is not an esport. Please don't do that. So yeah, that was um, a phase it went through. It was its rebellious phase. But then they brought it back with Resident Evil 7 and then all their DLC. And it was like, oh, this is a whole new idea. This is cool. And then they did Resident Evil 2 remaster. I played 7 and all of its DLC. All of it. I think I streamed it, the whole thing. Um, Fantastic. Resident Evil 2, I think I did the same thing. Resident Evil Resistance, I think I played the beta of. Uh, Resident Evil 3 Remake, again, I played the demo, but I didn't actually play. I'm excited for that new one. What is that? Resident Evil Reverse. I'm excited for that. It's coming out with, right? It's coming out. I know they're doing some DLC for Resident Evil Village, which, again, I played that extensively and streamed it. I have one trophy until I'm platinumed. Getting all like S rank on every mercenaries level. There's only one level left. The factory, Mad Factory. I'm trying so hard. I gave up for a while because I was getting super frustrated. But the DLC they're releasing that's coming out, I'm definitely going to stream that. It's October 27th. I think Reverse comes out. Does it? Hold on. Let me just. Reverse. Okay, that was June 9th. I don't. You can pre-purchase it still. It looks like it's going to be fun. I mean, Resident Evil Resistance, I guess, was fun. It was. But it's January 2021. Okay, so it's coming out with the update. It's October 28th. Oh, I'm gonna play so much Resident Evil. I'm gonna play Resident Evil Reverse. I'm gonna play the Rose story. I'm gonna finish the Mercenaries mode, hopefully with Lady Dimitrescu or oh shit. Heimdall? No, Heimdall's Greek. Not Greek, Norse. Heisenberg. Yes, Heisenberg. I've been watching Harley Quinn. There's so many names right now. So, that's kind of my extent with Resident Evil. I love the franchise. It's been with me since the beginning. It's gonna end at some point, which I am gonna be sad about. Or I can turn off my computer by dropping my phone on it. I just hard restart my computer. That's ridiculous. So don't do that. I think it's fine. I mean, this computer's old. I had one more thing though, besides all the DLC and stuff that's coming out. I if anyone knows of like emulators that I can possibly play on a computer or something, like I could maybe plug in a controller or figure out with like mouse and keyboard, please let me know. I want to be able to play so many like Resident Evil games. And I'm looking forward to the future of Resident Evil. It's gonna end. I think Chris is getting older. I haven't seen Leon in a while. They may do Leon. I do like Mia, Leon, and Claire's story. That Leon. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into lore. I just want to talk about its influence on me. And the fact that I can't keep my camera still. When I get another chance, I think tomorrow or the next day, I want to talk about another one that is near and dear to my heart. But I'm going to put this out there. It's not Silent Hill. I've only played Silent Hill 2. Don't come at me. Don't even at me. I just haven't. Alright, everybody. Take care.